In today's episode, a wrap-up of Content Marketing World and some thoughts on event planning. First, newly back from Content Marketing World, which was a great experience. First time at that show, and got a chance to meet folks that, in some cases, are not at the other conferences that I attend. Folks like Michelle Garrett and Teresa Lee and other folks who don't make it on the big circuit. For some people, and this is important for marketers to realize, not everyone can make it on the big circuit. Not everyone can attend Dreamforce and Inbound and CES and all these things. For some folks, one show a year is it. And so, if you're trying to reach people at conferences as a methodology for driving leads and driving business, you may want to do much more careful and thorough vetting of your audience and the conference attendees to see who's attending which conference. I would strongly recommend looking at social media monitoring software and gathering people who tweet about each event's hashtag and then extracting the biographies of those people to see who attends each event, and are those people the people that you want to be reaching. You may find that spending, $250,000 for a 10 by 10 booth at Dreamforce may not be the best return on investment. Dreamforce may have a large number of attendees, but they may not be your attendees. They may not be your people, the types of companies that you want to do business with. Now, that is also predicated on you knowing who your audience is and being able to identify and chase them. But that would be my recommendation. On the event side, Content Marketing World had a problem that has plagued many events I've been to, which is extremely long lines getting into rooms and things like that. Some events require you to register in advance. Now, my understanding is that events like Inbound do that now. Content Marketing World did that in the past. So requiring people to register in an app to get into a session. Other events let you just kind of wander around, but the penalty is, of course, that you may run into extremely long lines getting into a session room or rooms that are completely booked up. The reason for this is that there are two kinds of attendees who go to these events by personality type. There are folks who are the free-spirited, just want to see what happens, go where the flow takes me, and the other folks are like, I need the agenda 8 months in advance. I need to plan this thing out top to bottom. I know exactly where every minute of the day is going. You'll see these personalities on display, for example, on vacations. Some people are like, I'm just going to lay on the beach and go wherever, or do whatever happens. And other people are like, this is our schedule for our vacation. This is where we account for every minute. And because the way people attend events in these two groups are radically different, pleasing both groups is extremely difficult. The only event I've seen manage to keep both types of people happy in terms of reducing room lines, but being able to track attendees, and because the reason for the session registration is to track attendees, and that was also the cause of a lot of the long lines at Content Marketing World. People with little badge scanners scanning, people want to get into a room one person at a time. The only event I've seen where that was done really well are IBM events, and at IBM Think, for example, the way that they do it is, I'm going to see if I have any badges here. I don't. The badge itself has an RFID tracker, a radio frequency device tracker. It's a passive. It doesn't transmit any data, but when hit with a radio field, it pings. It's like a Bluetooth beacon or any kind of remote sensor. And the way it works is that over the doorways of every session room and throughout the halls, there are these transmitters, and as you walk in and out of a room, it tracks your data and can notify event planners like, hey, this room's getting too close to capacity. There's a lot of lines, and even though it is relatively frictionless at a really big event, when you have tens or hundreds of thousands of people on site, it still can, even then, still get some lines. But it does satisfy the requirement for events of tracking attendees, knowing who attended which sessions, knowing which sessions were the most popular, and how quickly people left a session, because the badges of course track people leaving whenever. So if everyone came in for a big session but people trickled out steadily throughout the session, that speaker may not have been as good as they were billed. Or if a room started out empty but people came in, and then the pace of people coming in as word spread through social networks picked up, maybe this is a speaker that we need to give some more time to. And so I sympathize, as someone who has run events in the past, of just how difficult it is to keep both camps happy. A way to get around that is the way HubSpot does it, where there's dedicated session lines, and then there are sort of wait list lines. So if you register for the session, you get in first, and then if there's still room for people, then the wait list line gets let in. I think that's a particularly good way of doing that, because it tries to satisfy both. And again, using those badges is the badges that say, yep, you're allowed to be in the session, or no, you're not allowed to be in the session. IBM did that at an event in Europe that I was in last year, where you would hold the badge up, the radio badge up to a scanner. It would and there's this big panel with a green and red light, and a green, yellow, red. So green, yes, you're registered for the session. Red, you're not registered for the session. Yellow, you're not registered for the session, but you can join the wait list and go into a separate queue. So that would be my suggestion to event planners: is if you've got a large event, if you are concerned with people being happy or unhappy with lines for sessions, that you look into that system. I am certain it is not cheap. I am certain that it is an investment, but if attendee happiness is a priority, as it should be for any event, you may want to make that investment. So overall, though, I thought Content Marketing World was a fun event. Got to see a lot of people I haven't seen at other events and things, so it will be an event I will be keeping my eye on in the future. And I know my compatriots at Brain Trust Insights all went to Inbound and enjoyed the sea, the ocean of people that were at Inbound this week. So if you'd like to get a copy of my talk from this week, you can get it at wherecanigettheslides.com. And if you want our predictive analytics talk, you can get that at willtheslidesbeavailable.com. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you want help with your company's data and analytics, visit braintrustinsights.com today and let us know how we can help you.